Hi guys, and welcome to yet again another one of my software installation videos. This is Rocky, and today we'll be downloading and installing SQL Server Express Management Studios 2008. Now, this is a free integrated environment for accessing, configuring, administrating, and developing all components of the SQL Server. Alright, so to start the download, you simply open up your browser. Now I have already went through the process of getting the browser open by typing in the search bar here, the SQL Express Management, and we go to the download Microsoft SQL Server. Now obviously when you get into the download center for Microsoft, you can actually choose which language setting you want, English of course, but most important is the requirements in knowing that if you it is compatible to 32-bit and 64-bit systems with a processor higher than 2 gigahertz and a minimum RAM of 1 gig. But obviously the more gig you have, or the more RAM you have, more RAM size, is the better the program will run for you. Alright, and a minimum of 1 gigabyte of free disk space is required. Alright, now this system I have here is Windows 8, and this is going to show in terms of the settings, PC information, and we have here it is 2.16 gigahertz, so we have the processor speed required. I have 8 gig RAM here, so we know that we have the amount of RAM, and we know that's a 64-bit operating system. So now we have an idea in terms of which program to download. So you continue to download, and you click the 64-bit file, and you click next. Once you click next here, it will automatically start to download the file onto your system. Now I have already downloaded the file, so I won't be continuing here, but you continue and click next and get the file downloaded. So this is the SQL management file, and once you open the file, automatically by double clicking on it, it automatically starts to extract the files to your system. Alright, click yes, and now it will just show some compatibility programs. You just continue to run without help. Right, as it's doing right now in the background, installing the files that it requires to start the process. Alright, so we have the SQL Server Center here. The planning obviously shows in terms of the hardware requirements, and we already went through that. We go on to installation. Now what you want to do is install a new server standalone installation. Alright, continue. So here we go. It starts in terms of setup with the support rules, and it shows that all the operations completed. We have 6 that were passed, and you can actually see the details in terms of what was being done in the background. You can continue by clicking OK. Now it goes into the product key, and well, obviously this is a free version, so it just basically specifies a free version here. Alright, click next, and then we go into the license and terms. Now I will always advise that you go through the license and terms so that you would have an idea in terms of exactly what you are installing on your system. Alright, and it's always advised that you read before you actually just click accept. Now we have the set of support files here. Click install and start installing the process on the system. So now we return and we see that all the different rules that were already installed on the system, right? The only error, or not error, but warning that we have is that the Windows firewall is activated. So that's normal, and click next. So we have the management and tools basic, and we also need to have the SQL clients. You click both, or so you can select all, click next. Alright, so we have here the amount of time space required. It's up to you if you want to send basically error message and reporting is sending any kind of error message that you get on your system back to Microsoft. It's more like a kind of survey. It's up to you. I won't be sending anything to them. Alright, and we continue. Alright, so this is basically a summary of all the different actions that features that were installed. Just to verify, and click install. So this is going to just take a small amount of time to actually install the install process, and it's actually doing that now. So we can probably go take a drink and come back. Okay, so process was completed, and indicates that your SQL Server 2008 installation was successfully completed. And that's it. So now that we have completed the installation and the download and installation, we can now see exactly what this program looks like. So let's switch to the SQL. So this is the management studio here, and this is what it looks like. So this is what we have just installed. We have downloaded the Microsoft SQL Server 2008, and this is the Server Management Studio, right? So here when we just input the server name, right, and we continue from there. So thanks very much for looking. I hope that you have gotten something out of this, and I hope to see you guys very soon when we start actually working a bit more with the SQL servers.